Hello and welcome to Chapter 266 of DC Alliance Podcast. With me, as always, is Joe. Joe, how you doing today?
I'm doing perfectly fine, as my shirt suggests. No, I'm doing good. Um, Busy week. I've got to work tomorrow, which not great because I'm still making up notes for my Reacher coverage, but which I'm recording tomorrow night. Which is but no, just busy, tired.
I feel
Yeah,
you. I feel you. Even though
yeah,
today was my day off, I'm still a little tired because I burned a late night candle up talking Marvel Alliance last night about Daredevil. So, and the Avengers
yeah,
thing, that whole thing that if
yeah.
like
How long? That was like what? 4 hours?
five
5 hours?
hours apparently.
Jeez.
Joe, I turned it on. Saw like it was shared in our GUA chat. I saw that it went from Anthony Mackie to Sebastian Shan. I was like, "Oh, this is what they're doing." I turned it off and never turned it back on because we have a GUA chat. And after it was over, literally 5 minutes after it was over, somebody shared discussing film, literally the entire list of the chairs.
Yeah,
And
which
they
is
also
great.
shared like a couple minutes later of Robert Downey Jr. at the end. I was like, okay, perfect. That's the same thing. I didn't need to watch that. More power to whoever watched it, but that would not be my time management there. I had to do other things.
Yeah, the fact alone that they dominated social media with those 5 hours of just shares.
Well,
Like,
Avengers is still a
bravo,
big deal.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Bravo. And that's not even everybody. They're gonna do it again, like
Well,
sometime soon.
I speculated on the episode last night when they were talking about in the post credits about the champions, Marvel champions, the young group. Instead of calling them Young Avengers, I thought they would stay away from that just because the Avengers name is associated with billion-dollar franchise
Sure.
every time. So I don't
Oh
think they
yeah.
throw that out that easy. Like you say that for the big money, big box office films. That's why you've never heard anything else called Avengers in any of these shows or anything like that because I don't see that happening. I think that's why they're doing changing the name to Champions.
Okay, that's fair.
Just a thought, just in the marketing side of things. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was a fun time.
good.
But we got a bit of news here, Joe. Prelude to the Superman trailer that's dropping next week. We
Let's go.
got a little leak, not confirmed by Gunn yet, but we'll get into that and talk about what we want to see from the Superman trailer, as well as a little bit of news and a Smallville ritual recap that was in the PU stinky side of things for me, anyway. That I can't wait to chat with you about.
No comment.
Uh, so before we get into all that, let me get the network plugged out of the way. We are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance with 6 shows in total. On Mondays, bi-weekly is Ranger Alliance. On Tuesdays is a walk through the multiverse. On Wednesdays is the Animation Nation. On Thursdays is Star Wars Alliance. On Fridays is Marvel Alliance. And on Saturdays is DC Alliance. Star Wars Alliance goes live on the Geekverse YouTube channel Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Marvel Alliance goes live Thursdays at 9-10 p.m. Eastern Time. And DC Alliance goes live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All 3 of those shows also do their own podcast feeds. Search DC Alliance, Marvel Alliance, and Star Wars Alliance. Just about DC content, Marvel content, or Star Wars content only. But if you want all 6 shows on the GUA Podcast Network, stay subscribed to GUA in your podcast app of choice. We also have a Patreon, 2 tiers, a $1 tier and a $5 tier. $1 tier is basically a tip charity like we're doing. You want to help us out any way you can. And the $5 tier is where you get your extras. You get your ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and Patreon exclusive episodes. Myself and Joe are going through all the DC films through the years. I think over 30 pieces of content up there for the patrons now. We also have the Marvel Alliance guys. They get 2 things on the backlog for the patrons. Their Infinity Saga rewatch that they cover the entirety of the Infinity Saga and their Tales from the House of X, talking about their favorite Fox Marvel films. And then we have Joe's Multiverse Minutes, where Joe's doing his Disney deep dives. On the 1st and 15th of every month, Joe's going to review a Disney film, not just review it, give you behind the scenes facts, tidbits, all that sort of thing. Joe, what's up in a couple days for the patrons?
Robin Hood from
Ooh.
1970. Was it 3?
I love that one. I remember that one.
Man, it's a classic.
Yeah,
it really is. And then it's, I said it. I mean, it's a little spoiler, I guess, for Patreon, but like I said it in the show, it's kind of the best one until Little Mermaid. Like from Robin Hood until Little Mermaid, it gets kind of like up and down of good.
Yeah,
but I think there's a lot more bad. So
they really try some things at Disney in the future.
That was a very tumultuous is not the right word, but it was a very, I don't know, man. Like, you're right, they're trying things.
Yeah. Again, it's still, there's some really good ones there. We thank everyone that's a patron. If you're not a patron, if you take a quick 30, 60-second break and view the podcast on your podcast app of choice, it's always greatly appreciated. Help other people find the shows, and that's always a good thing. Looks like we got Greg in the chat saying Superman looks great. Really excited for it.
What's up,
Hey,
Greg?
Greg. We are both really
Yeah,
excited for Superman as well.
Yes, we both are too.
Which is a good segue into our main topic of tonight. We are getting a Superman trailer next week at CinemaCon, Joe. We have a little bit of spoilery news about Superman, but before we do that, I want to ask, like, what are you hoping to see in the next Superman trailer?
Honestly, some plot. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
not obviously the whole plot, because I will say the last handful of important DC movies, the trailers gave away majority of the plot. But like, I want to see, like, I mean, we have, obviously we know Brainiac is going to be here, and he's doing something to the Earth. Like, give us a little more of that. We know Ultraman's going to be here because we saw that in the last trailer. Give us a little bit more of that. Like, I want to know, not complete details, but I want a little bit of a story. You know, I want to know
Yes.
what's happening.
And I hope the director's involved in the trailer because, like you said, a couple trailers give away that stuff. And like even BVS, when I watched that trailer that showed Doomsday, I had no idea Doomsday was going to be in the trailer. I wasn't deep into this stuff. And immediately when I knew that, I was like, okay, they're going to put aside their differences in the third act, take on Doomsday.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And
That kind of ruined the movie. Well, it
not
didn't really ruin the movie.
It just ruined the surprise there and
Exactly.
where it was going to go. But there was still like the Wonder Woman of it all that kind of stuff still was pretty great how they did all that. He said that said, most of the teaser was from the beginning of the movie. I don't really want to be spoiled anything. Moving forward, I like to see some lines and some people speaking.
What?
Greg, that would be nice. And
You
give me
got
some
a
Lex Luthor
whistle?
stuff. But like, I don't want anything. I don't want main stuff given away. Like, give me a Lex Luthor like being deceiving, but don't give away like what his main objective is behind the scenes, and show me just some of the other characters talking and stuff. That's all I'm looking for. Nothing major, but just a little bit more inter-character stuff. That's all.
Yeah. I didn't realize. Maybe we've talked about it in the past, but we've talked about so much, and I've talked about the shows. I didn't realize that the teaser was mainly the beginning, which is good because I'm with you, Greg. Like, I don't want to be spoiled. The problem is the nature of this show. You know, we find out this information, and we're gonna, you know, either we decide to pass it along or not, but we still find out the information. So I don't know. I definitely want to go in with fresh eyes and
Same. And again, like the Spider-Man Homecoming, for example, if they somehow ruined that, that
I mean,
like that scene, it wasn't ruined for me. I had the tense moment was up with
the Far From
Vulture.
Home.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, Homecoming with Vulture in the back of it and Peter in the car, and he figures out that Peter's Spider-Man in the car.
Okay,
And they had
see that's a good one because then if you go to the No Way Home of it all, when Peter is going up against Ock and everybody, and there's two very blatant blank spaces,
basically giant paths that are going
like,
against the bad guys. Yeah.
I wonder what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I'd like to know more surprises, but they're always best. And one of those potential surprises got out today, which is Bradley Cooper.
Skip ahead. Okay.
Yeah, skip ahead.
Too late. You already said it.
No,
Go
I just
ahead.
said his name. I just said a name. So skip ahead if you don't want to hear this. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. But Bradley Cooper is rumored to be playing Jor-El in Superman, and that it's not going to. He's only in it for a little bit at the start of the film, is what.
But I mean, it would make sense. I mean, Bradley Cooper is Rocky Raccoon. He's worked with Gunn on 3 movies plus Gunn's input on the last 2 Avengers movies. Like, I'm not surprised one bit. You know, Gunn knows who his people are. He knows who he can work with, who works well with him. He's gonna go back to that pool, and I'm fine with that. Speaking of pools,
I hope he channels his pools. I hope he channels his Jor-El in more of the scientist, super smart side of things, and not more the gravitas side. Because I mean, Russell Crowe, even the guy who played him in, I think not Jor-El, but Jor-El's father in Krypton, played it the exact same kind of way as Russell Crowe, like gravitas, like no. So yeah, I'm hoping that he goes the scientist way because that's the way that we haven't seen Jor-El before, It's always been like so. I'm hoping we just see a little bit more of that side. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how much we're going to see of him. So that's always a question. But like you said, he works with actors that he's worked with before. Most directors, good directors, do that because the actors want to keep coming back and working for them.
Exactly.
So I, for one, am excited to see what Cooper's going to do. Like, are they going to age him up? Is he going to be young Jarrell? Just like
I mean, Bradley Cooper's like in his 50s. Like he could just be
50s, yeah.
himself.
Yeah,
and be like,
essentially. Yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't watched a Bradley Cooper movie in so long. I basically think he's still the same way he was in
that's fair. Honestly, him and
if Guardians don't count.
Jennifer Lawrence in Joy was a really good movie.
The movie Limitless, is that one?
Limitless, another one that was
one that I enjoyed him in.
He was definitely in his late 30s, early 40s.
Okay, that's probably the last time I've seen him in something that wasn't like Rocket Raccoon or the A-Team.
Because definitely
again, that
been dude, I love the A-Team's terrible. I love
it too, Joe. I love it too. I love it too.
Yeah.
So again, I want to see some stuff from Lex mainly.
Lex would be a good one to see. I would like to see a little bit of a relationship between Clark and Lois, other than just them. The little bit we had with them kissing. Like I want to see them talking. I want to see some dialogue between them.
Some
little fun
news, Daily Planet banter.
Honestly, yeah. Like I want to see her asking him how many L's are in River or something. I don't know.
Joe, since we're doing the Smallville retro recaps, I'll hark back there a little bit. That is probably my favorite Clark Lois relationship, and that gets started that way right from the start. Like it's not like it's like back and forth, like give and take, like making fun. Again, I really Silver Linings was Cooper was good as well.
I still haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong with that. Like, I mean, we've had any time you have, especially a series, like you're gonna have a good back and forth because you're gonna be with like these characters can actually build and grow, and
we're both in agreement there. Yeah.
Movies are great for these characters, but like you're only given a certain amount of time, and you have to believe that these two have the chemistry.
Yeah.
And sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you get Brandon Roth and
Kate Beckinsale.
Was it Beckinsale?
I think so.
No, it wasn't Beckinsale. It was something. Because Kate Beckinsale is Underworld. Right?
Yeah. Kate Bosworth.
Thank you, Bosworth.
There you go. Sorry, yeah.
Which I thought they had okay chemistry, but like it was
hard for them to have chemistry, Joe, when 85% of the film she's with her
correct
new
that's
partner
and
their supposed kid at the time. So how big of an intro into the new DC universe is this going to be? Are we going to get a Batman reference, Supergirl tied to GL series?
I mean, Supergirl's in the movie, so we're going to have that reference.
We'll probably get a Superman in credit scene because of like what they already had Supergirl selected before this was done filming, or not before this was done filming, but before they were done additional filming, like pickup shots and stuff. So they definitely could have done something where the end credit scene is Supergirl stranded, like the comic, and then you just pick up on that with the Supergirl movie, and you won't give anything away. You just reward fans that watch both.
Okay, I can see that.
You know what I mean? So,
I don't know. Outside of that, like I don't think we're gonna have. Maybe we'll have a Batman, like a Gotham City reference. Maybe we'll have a Coast City reference. Like
we'll have some.
I can see more of a Coast City because
authority references. I could see.
Well, obviously they're but I can see more of a Coast City tied to Green Lantern because when we get to the show, which is part of this universe, Hal's been a Green Lantern for some time.
And also, I'm a little confused on how much the Green Lantern show is going to tie into the greater DC.
Yeah, it's
like
he
said before that it was going to tie into the
like,
main, and now there's like not really because it's a HBO show now. It wasn't when James Gunn made that statement. And again, seeing those creators that are behind it now, before like Lindelof was not attached to it when he said that stuff. So who knows? But I do think the Lantern show is going to be amazing. So because everything that DC has done with HBO has been fantastic so far.
Yeah, all one of them.
Two.
I forgot about Penguin. My bad.
Yeah. So,
but that's part of the Reeves universe. Anyway, sorry.
It's new stuff that coming since James Gunn took over. He said, what I mean is, do you think this is going to introduce these characters as already established? Yes, they're going to already establish a lot of these. But you're going to see some, like you might see Metamorpho's origins in this Superman film.
Yeah,
You might see a
little
couple of
quicker
these. You won't see Guy Gardner's origin because he's not going to be a special of like you're going to see more lanterns, so you won't see his origin. And I don't think you need that stuff. So,
But I definitely think I do agree. You'll see some Mr. Terrific. You'll see Metamorpho. You might see Hawk Girl, but we've had Hawk Girl in the past in like not Titans in what was it?
my best
Arrowverse.
advice is to go back and watch the 3-part Justice League, the animated series, where you have 2 characters that are established, but you bring in 4 new characters in the same 3-parter, and you don't give any of their backstories besides one, which is the main backstory of why these villains are attacking in the beginning. He's tied into that. So I feel like you can bring in multiple characters and not have to tell their origin stories and still have a good story. But that 3-parter is really good. So
yeah, but I also feel like we were smarter back then.
Not gonna give 11-year-old Travis that much credit.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is that we knew, these are heroes. Like we don't need to have their origin story back then. Now we're wanting that because they're building franchises left and right. You know?
Well, and Greg says, I mean, more will they nod to characters from the big 7 like Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and so on. I don't know. I don't think so. Again, you don't know. Like this Superman's just coming out now, and some of these heroes could be established, but not.
I'm assuming they're probably going to they won't name drop anybody, but they will city drop more than likely.
Yeah,
it's going to be Easter eggs.
Yeah, I'm with Joe on that. I feel like you can bring them in for a greater threat and not have to do their origin story, especially Wonder Woman, Aquaman, because we got those. So yeah. I don't see like Gunn's going to tell those over again. You might get, like you said, a reference to Central City, something like that. Which again, you don't need to tell these origin stories. You don't need to tell the Flash's origin story. You got it twice now, with the show and then the movie. The movie did go back to what happened, and he had to recreate it and stuff. So essentially, you relived the origin story again. So again, I don't see that happening. But who knows? I'm not going to judge them until we see it. Just hope that it's a solid story, and they don't worry that much about this stuff.
We'll see.
Yeah. Let's take our first ad break of the evening, Joe. Listeners, we're an ad support network. We don't pick the ads or volume. I'm going to give you a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe. We got some news. Not a whole lot, but there is some here. First off, Ben Affleck had a little interview with GQ that kind of made a lot of people pissed in the Snyderverse, which made me laugh because some of this is common sense stuff. Doesn't take anything away from the film.
Yeah.
But there was one here. Hold on, the quote, because I don't want to dig through the article too much. He said, "I'm not interested in going down that road of being superhero again, not because of that bad experience, but just I've lost interest in what it was interest to me about it. But certainly, I wouldn't want to replicate an experience like that. It was a lot of misalignment of agendas, understandings, and expectations."
I.e., Joss Whedon fucked them all over.
Yeah, and the studio, because the studio wanted a cinematic universe before he signed on. When he signed on to BVS, that's not what they were.
Well, no, because when Snyder was in control, he's like, I've got these 5 movies I'm doing.
Yeah, and I sacrificed myself at the
4
end.
movies I'm doing. And then, this is Snyder, so he's building these 4 movies. He approached all these people to be like, hey, would you like doing this? And especially with Affleck, like, hey, your characters, you got 3 movies and you're gone, 4 movies and you're gone, and then that's it.
He was asked, "Do you have a coherent thought or postmortem on your time on the Batman character?" I had a really good time. I loved doing the Batman movie that he worked on. I love Batman versus Superman, and I like my brief stints on the Flash that I did. And when I got to work with Viola Davis on Suicide Squad for a day or two, in terms of creatively, I really think that was the idea and the ambition that I have for it, which was sort of older, broken, damaged Bruce Wayne, and it was something we really went for in the first movie. But what happened was it started to skew too old for a big part of the audience. Like even my own son at the time was too scared to watch the movie, and when I saw that, I was like, "Oh shit, I think we have a problem."
Yeah.
Then I think that's when you have a filmmaker that want to continue down that road and a studio that wanted to recapture all the younger audience at cross purposes. Then you have two entries, two people really wanting to do something different, and that's a really bad recipe.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right on the being too old part, because especially with the studio wanting to have a franchise
Mm-hmm.
because they're trying to copy Marvel, it's like they're thinking 10, 15 years down the line.
And nobody tell me about Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark, because he's in a helmet CGI thing 60% of the time when he's on screen, whereas Affleck had to be in like peak Batman shape, which
Yep.
basically killed him.
Yeah.
uh, he again. He's I think with Affleck is more than that. The movie scene has changed. The top 10 anticipate movies of the year, all sequels or reboots of older.
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah,
But then even back then though, even back in the early
but
mid 2010s.
but
Like,
but Affleck has started his own production company with Matt Damon, and they are focused on like making films. And he's been in films. The Michael
Yeah.
Jordan film, Air. They did that from their production company. They've been doing several. So
is the accountant from those two? Like, I mean,
I
is the
don't
accountant
think
from that
so.
company? Okay.
I don't think so. I think that might be one of those ones where they were in on the financing sort of thing to make some money, because
Gotcha.
again, they do need to make money. But yeah, he's focused on that sort of thing and directing more than getting back in the acting thing too much. So yeah, I don't see him doing any superhero stuff anymore. And again, I'm happy with what I got from him.
Dude,
Man of Steel, BVS, and Zack Snyder Justice League are three films I can watch that just tie together perfectly, and I'm good with that.
there was a movie called The Way Back that he was in, where he was a basketball coach for a bunch of like
Yeah, I watched that
high
too.
school. Dude, that movie was
That was
great.
really good. That was a
Yeah,
really good movie.
I took my dad to go see that movie in 2020 when it came out, and I think we had a good time with it. I really did enjoy that movie.
That's good. That's good. I enjoyed it too. I can watch it at home. So, again, you know, I'm glad he's off. He seems more healthy. I'm glad he's off to just direct and more things.
Yeah.
There's a Superman preview rumored to be kicking around, Joe, that's going to be in major Cineplex in Thailand. They were teasing it during a showing of Minecraft. It's going to show an exclusive 5-minute clip. Now, I don't know if that's going to be
online. Like,
I don't know if that's going to be
week?
here too, or is that just going to be in Thailand with
Minecraft?
You
know, the minute it hits.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't know if it's going to be in theaters here.
I'll let you know when I go see Minecraft.
Okay. To keep me posted, I might have to go see Minecraft or scrub the internet for secret stuff.
Yeah, we'll see.
And yeah, there's another thing here about in Thailand during Minecraft movies IMAX screenings, there will be a 5-minute exclusive Superman clip. So make sure you go to the IMAX, Joe.
Nope, because I'm not. I don't do IMAX. I'm not upping that price. It's stupid. Also, the Regal I go to doesn't have IMAX, so can't.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I have IMAX in my town, but it's at
there was no
AMC, and I'm not going to the AMC.
You got choice. You got choices. Like you got different theater chains. I have one. It's called Cineplex, and we have one theater. Now they have an IMAX screen or two, so not too bad.
It's whatever.
Could be worse. We have his first look at the Supergirl set, and you see nothing because it's all covered over.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell am I looking at with this thing? Because all I see are like boxes of stuff.
Just tarts.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's fine.
So we have some confirmation for Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah.
Bray Noel confirms she's playing Batman villain White Rabbit in DC Studios' Peacemaker season 2. The Max series is set to hit in August.
That's gonna be fun to watch.
Do you know much about White Rabbit, Joe?
Nope. Like I know the character. I've read a few stories with her in it. None of it is coming to my head because they were. I'm not gonna say they were one-offs, but her character I mean, she's a thief, as far as I know. Like, I don't know.
Earlier on, the name was used by Angora Lapin. There's a few people that have used it: a weapons dealer in Metropolis and Enemy of Steel. And then the second White Rabbit then came
Oh
along. He was a
yeah.
supernatural swordsman and a Shadow Pack villain. He was the rival of the Pentacle and known as the rival of Nightmaster. And then the main carrier of the title
Hmm.
in the modern day is Janina Hudson, an enemy to Batman who assists other villains by leading him to them. She was once a love interest of Bruce Wayne as the daughter of an American diplomat and an Indian actress. Hudson is able to physically separate herself into two beings, the White Rabbit alter ego and her normal persona. As the White Rabbit, she has entirely different personality and appearance. Her duplication powers allow her to be in two different places at the same time. She's been a member of the Secret Society of Supervillains and the Wonderland Gang. I am not shocked, though, that at that kind of obscure character. We had the Judo Master last season, so this doesn't shock me at all.
Yep, there she is, and she shows up in the first volume of the Dark Knight, New 52 Dark Knight. So that's the last time I remember seeing her.
I think I have that back there too in the bottom shelf.
Yeah,
pretty cool. Just to see a little bit more for Peacemaker. Sign me up.
Yeah, considering how Peacemaker is, I'll be interested to see how this character plays out, because I'm not gonna say they're gonna make it jokey, but they're gonna have fun with it. They're gonna treat this character. I'm not gonna say they're gonna treat her right, but like they're definitely going to have a good time showing her, and it's perfect because I'm also not saying she's a lesser known. Like, I've known of her. I forgot about the White Rabbit first showing up in Steel, because I actually enjoy the first couple arcs of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
But she also has a very, very.
I don't even think she looks, and I don't think she looks.
Oh no, she looks nothing like that. Nothing like this. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with this character.
Now we got a little bit of Lanterns casting news and rumors. The first is we have John Stewart's parents. Sherman Augustus joins the cast of Lanterns. He will play John Sr., the father of John Stewart in the HBO series. And Jasmine Cephas Jones joins the cast of DC Lanterns. She will play a younger version of John Stewart's mother in the HBO series.
Okay, fun.
My thought maybe is that they see, like, they're made to see past things by whatever villain that they're chasing or wherever they have to go. And they get to see memories and stuff. And because I don't think he had the greatest childhood. And
yeah, from what my knowledge of John Stewart is, yeah, he had a rough.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what villain could do that. Nothing really pops in my head right away. Not saying it couldn't happen.
Yeah.
But also could just be flashbacks,
Yeah,
could
or
just have flashbacks.
Could be like the same kind of concept as the cave with Yoda and Dagobah, where you go in and face your fear kind of deal. You know what I mean? Like
that.
And Lantern's big thing is going against fear. So
exactly.
Again, they might be shown a time when they were most scared. Just thrown out there.
Again, yeah.
They're playing like younger versions of themselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the rumor going around, coming from a person that is batting like for a lot with DC stuff, is that Plastic Man might show up in Lanterns.
What do you mean? For whatever. Snyder is he's a great.
He's as good as he's a hack. Yeah, but again, I just feel like it'd be a little bit of out of place. But depending on how they're going with the show and what they're going with the Plastic Man character, I just hope, please give me Ben Schwartz as Plastic Man. Please.
He'd make a good one. I can see him as a really good Eel O'Brien. But yeah, I mean, it could just be Eel. It doesn't have to be Plastic Man. It could just be Eel O'Brien the Thief.
Yeah. Ooh, I did not think about that, Joe. That might be that's interesting. That's maybe he even
like the beauty of these shows is, yes, you definitely need somebody for them to go up against, and they have a plethora of characters they could choose from. And why not have some Easter eggs of characters that you could see in the future.
And
You
you
know?
know what? Like I hope they do more like the animated how they do it in animation sometimes where you bring a character in, he tells his backstory, which is 30 to 60 seconds. And so like you could have this guy as a thief here.
Well,
He could come back in a project as Plastic Man and he could explain how he turned into Plastic Man.
yeah. I say
You
I
know
don't
what I
know if I
mean?
trust Eel O'Brien's recollection of his backstory.
You know what I mean? Like just
I know exactly what you mean,
in
though. Yeah,
general, it would be an easier way to tell somebody instead of doing origin stories all the time. You could have
yeah.
just a quick recap of here's how I got my powers. Uh, let's take our final ad break of the evening, Joe, before we get into the final little bit of news and then our Smileville Retro recap. Listeners, we're an ad support network. We don't pick the ad or volume. We do a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe. Not a whole lot of news left. Just G. Carlos Esposito
Esposito.
is saying he's interested in joining the DCU playing Mr. Freeze. Would you like to see him in
Dude,
that
he'd be
role?
amazing, Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
I feel bad because all he ever plays is villains. However, Freeze is a
It's more
very
of a
misunderstood.
tragic villain. Yeah.
He's a tragic villain. He's a misunderstood character, depending on which version you play.
Like him,
If he's not doing ice puns like Arnold, I don't want it.
like in most villains in Gotham, he kind of got turned into a villain instead of like coming in a villain.
Well, and speaking of like most villains in Gotham anymore, they are on a path of redemption. Like in some of the New 52, Freeze has been kind of redeemed a little bit.
I've seen a
Like,
couple times in a couple different things where he's
yeah,
like done good. So
Clayface has too. Obviously you got Catwoman, Harley, and Ivy. Like those three have been redeemed left and right, which I'm
yeah,
fine with. Like you have the back and forth with some of these. Like
yeah,
Two Face has even been redeemed in the comics.
yeah,
You
in
know,
the comics.
yeah, this is the comics. I mean, the one that's never gonna be redeemed is Joker,
Yeah,
right?
it's even that in the animated side of things, like the Batman. I've seen him helping Batman in like in an episode.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. Like you can do it, but
Now, I mean, you rewind and you go to the Harley Quinn show where he is redeemed, but that's a whole different
he's
set of things. You
he
know, like
might have overtaken Bane as my favorite character.
I mean, they're both great. You
Like I
know,
watched an episode last night, and he was like, "Can you call your husband? Can you call Superman now, please?" It's like, "You don't think Harley's gonna stop us?" Oh yes, with her short shorts and her baseball bat. I'm sure. Can you just please call Superman so we can feel a little bit more safe here?
which after I was watching because I watched both those episodes and I have to apologize. You were correct. I don't think he remembers.
Yeah.
I think something happened. Like he either got mind wiped or something.
When I think after the events, you know, when he came back as a good person for a little while before he
Yeah.
changed back into a Joker, I think he forgot some
Okay.
things.
Yeah.
Man. So that's convenience, but you know what I mean.
I might give all those a rewatch when like now the season's done. I might rewatch them all just
Same,
because I can.
just run through them.
Yeah.
Here, BBS had its anniversary 3 days ago, the 9th anniversary. Still, the Ultimate Edition is my favorite comic book film to date, and I'm hoping that Superman passes it.
It's up there for me, man. Like, when was the last time you watched BVS?
Before Christmas, because that's why I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League there
Okay.
in January. So I watched BVS before Christmas. I watched it on my computer downstairs because I was at Allison's parents and everyone was gone out, and I had a few hours to kill, and I ended up turning that on. And
Nice.
yeah, it was like, yeah, I enjoy this. And
it's been some time for me. I don't remember the last time I watched it, but
I've watched the theatrical since I watched it in the theaters. So the decision to take out that was one of those what ifs for me. The decision to take out 30 minutes for to get more screens. It's one of those things that I always think. Like, wonder what would happen if they never did that.
We wouldn't have been where we were with DC movies. Honestly.
Oh, you're right about that. A big what if. So this one I knew about and I forgot to mention to you on an episode of Talkville, the one for episode 9, season 6, episode 9. Alfred Go was on
Goff.
there. Goff, sorry, was on there. I think they got Go here in the thing. Was on just for a couple seconds to answer a few questions, and he mentioned that the Smallville animated series is on hold right now. He said is off the table for a little bit since James Gunn and Peter Safran took over DC, and they're focusing on Superman for a while. But I do think that maybe by the end of this podcast, they'll probably be able to start up and do the animated series sequel, which I would love to see.
Now, is the animated series just going to be the comics, or are they going to have a new story?
I'm not sure. They didn't mention that. I don't know if they'll go by the comics.
I'll say because the comics themselves had like 2 or 3 seasons.
They did really good. The comics too. Like got a pretty good run out of it.
Yeah,
like, I think it's like at least like 8 or 10 volumes. Like there's several like with different heroes on the front of them.
Yeah, did I have one of them?
I thought I had.
I feel like I had like 1 or 2 for.
So.
Oh wait, there
more the Arrow stuff.
All right, so that's season 11. Season 11. I've got 2, 3 volumes 2, 3, 4, and 6.
Yeah, I think there's.
I feel like they went to season 12 as well, though. But either way.
But yeah, it's sad. I don't think that this would do anything to the Smallville, like I don't think this would do anything to Superman if this was running right now. We got My Adventures with Superman too. I don't know if they're just worried about Superman saturation, but
yeah, which I mean, My Adventures is, obviously it's on 10 episodes. I think we had 2 seasons so far. We got 3rd season upcoming. Smallville could be potentially 2, 3, 4 seasons if they follow the comics or if they have new storylines planned out. So yeah, it may be an oversaturation.
So it got 8 volumes. So 11.8, 11.7, 11.6, 11.5, 11.4, 11.3, 11.2, 11.1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Pretty cool.
69 issues?
Or
chapters?
63.
Yes.
63.
No, 69. Because
no, you're right. Yeah, sorry, it's not here.
Yeah.
69.
Yeah. They moved some stuff around there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty cool. There was a spin-off too, a little bit, like with a few different things. 11, 1/4, 1/12, 1/4, 1/12, 1/12, and 1/12.
Those are chapters. 1
Yeah,
through
so
1 through
okay,
4,
so
1 through 12. I think that was that.
This was Alien, Lantern, Chaos, and
Well,
Continuity.
No, what I'm referring to are these issues, or are they? Because for a while there, DC did like online.
I don't know. I've never
exclusive.
read them. It's
So-
not really saying much here. Miniseries through an interview with TV Guide, it was announced by series author Brian Q. Miller that Smallville season 11 moniker would not be used any longer after the Olympus Hour. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
so they changed after that to like season 11, episode 8, Alien, and then season 11, episode 10, season 11, episode 11, season 11, episode 12, season 11, episode 13, season 11, episode 14. So this was after that, yeah.
I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, that's something I haven't checked out before, but it's, again, pretty cool. Yeah, I hope this starts up at some point for Smallville. I would love to see them just continue on a little bit with the animation.
Yeah.
You know me.
Sure, of course. Plus, rewatching these, rewatching Smallville since we're about ready to hop into the retro recap. Man, the show was like this dominated.
This was good for
having 10 years.
Had 20 something episodes. Like this was good.
Yeah.
Like some episodes are done, but like this was good. This was not a great episode, but there's some fun stuff.
Oh yeah, no, this one was definitely crap. But but there's also is one that I sort of remembered. Really, mainly.
Yeah, I did too.
Mainly all of the Green Arrow parts.
Yeah, I did remember that.
The Tori Spelling parts, I couldn't give 2 craps about. But But all of the Green Arrow parts of like, oh, Lois figured it out, and Clark, being the good guy he is, tells Oliver, "Hey, we need if you don't
runs
want her to find out,
interference
yeah,
for him, and the best part of that is when he goes in the coffee after, and she tells him that he's a better kisser than Oliver.
yeah,
The Green Arrow guy's better kisser than Oliver, and he plays it off. He could have made it really corny, and he didn't, which I appreciate. Like he just played it off with a little smirk. Which again, some other
well,
like you might get some people like, oh, he really was that good. Well, no, he just played it off with a little smirk, and I enjoyed that.
and it doesn't help that Chloe is sitting there like, oh yeah, Lois, like tell him what's going
Yeah,
on.
Lois
Like
was Chloe
she
was the one that
figured
did
it
that.
out.
Yeah.
Like Chloe figured it out without being told because that's
Also,
what she does.
Lois figured out Green Arrow's identity, so maybe calm down a little time at their Chloe going like, "You come here, look at this, come here." Like just tone it
Yeah,
down a little bit. But yeah, I did
yeah.
enjoy this episode, Joe. Some of this, like the Green Arrow stuff, you're right. The stuff with Tori Spelling, I couldn't care one
Nope,
bit. Like didn't care about the subplot with her, with the
nope.
actor didn't care, or I mean the sports
Character.
player
Yeah,
thing, and then the only cool thing was her eavesdropping, but then her getting hit by a car and them thinking like, yeah, that's over. I'm like,
yeah. I was like, does she come back? Because I feel like she
he
came back.
does in season 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the Lois and Lex and Clark triangle thing going on. Like 5 episodes ago, you said you were done. Now there's a possibility that Clark is still in the picture, and then
Oh, don't even
Lex
talk to
is
me about
like,
that nonsense. Like that made no sense. Like unless she was like, yeah, I'm trying to bring Lex down from the inside. No, she's just being like, yeah, I would have said yeah, less to Clark. Yes, to Clark. Why are you even saying that? Like that makes no sense. Especially a couple episodes ago, you told Chloe to like back off.
yeah, yeah.
Like the way they write some of these characters are, but again, the main thorough stuff is good, and I do like Lex being worried about all this, even though he's so powerful. Like he's worried about Clark, and they had that little standoff that was okay. But again, there's not enough goodness for me to enjoy this. Although we got the next 2 episodes are going to be like
I
I'm
know
going to be
you're really
drooling at the
excited for
mouth.
these.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so look forward to that, Joe. We got a good episode to talk about next time we get together, and we have a Superman trailer coming out next week that hopefully we'll get to talk about Tuesday. Be on the lookout, listeners. We may even go live. Who knows? Depending on uh, when it comes out and all that stuff. So we'll. I think that wraps up this week. There's nothing else I really want to talk about with that Smallville episode. Get ready, listeners. Watch season 6, episode 11, Justice. You'll enjoy it. It's one of the better episodes of the entire Smallville series.
Oh, and I just looked it up, and there were 9 Smallville trades for
Yeah.
season 11.
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah, makes
yeah,
sense.
I've got 4 of them.
Okay. Well, you know, assembling Infinity Stones.
Look, that's yeah.
They're very rare to find. I haven't seen many of them out, to be honest with you.
I think I might have gotten them.
I think they're a little overpriced on like eBay too. I'm pretty sure I was
Well,
looking at them.
eBay,
Yeah.
fuck eBay. No, like I think I may have gotten them at like a half price books on
Oh,
on the
okay.
sale on the clearance rack or something some
Nice.
time ago. I don't remember. You haven't seen my wall in a while, but the thing is like
I remember it.
over, and I don't remember where I get half of these books.
You're amassing quite a collection, Joe.
Yeah, I'm trying
Listeners,
to cut down.
we'll be back next week with some Superman trailer talk. Until then, see you, everyone.
Bye, y'all.